What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today we're doing a very early deck profile of my early draft of Arceus V-Star with Dark Pokemon. Arceus Dark variant, whatever you want to call it. So Arceus V-Star is super interesting, and I think people are going to be experimenting with this for a while to really find out the best ways to build it and the best lists for those variants. So this is the list that we used in the recent gameplay video of Arceus versus Mew. And I'm excited to show it off and start hearing some feedback and different ideas about how to build Arceus decks. So, before we get into it, shout out to PotownStore.com, CardTrooperGames.com. You can use code Celio for 5% off at both of those websites. You can find my standard format deck lists at PokemonCard.io. And also subscribe to the Beast Coast Pokemon YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel as well, leave a like and a comment, and let's get into it. So, we're starting out with 4 Arceus V and 3 Arceus V Star. This is an Arceus V Star centric deck. Arceus V notably has the first attack, which for 2 colorless energies allows you to search your deck for up to 3 basic energies and attach them to your V Pokemon however you like. And that even includes the Arceus, according to the cards I've seen. Actually, there are English scans already, so yeah, it's not even according to translations. It's just you can attach it to any of your V Pokemon, even the active Arceus. They don't have to be on your bench. Then we have Arceus V Star. By the way, I printed out Japanese proxies, even though there's English scans of these cards. Not the smartest move for me. But Arceus V Star, 280 HP. It has 1 attack, which is going to be doing 200 damage for 3 colorless energies. And then you could search your deck for up to 3 basic energies and attach them to your V Pokemon however you like. So it has the same effect of that first attack, but also does 200 damage. You'll typically be using this for a basic energy plus a double turbo energy, and it's kind of like Ultimate Ray from ADP in that regard. And then we've got V-Star. The V-Star Power is an ability which you can use once per game, and it allows you to search your deck for any 2 cards. That's going to be very good. Now, something I've noticed is that it kind of stinks when you have to use that V-Star Power just to get going in the beginning of the game, because you'd really like to save it for later on to, try to win the game instead of just get set up. But sometimes you will have to use it to get set up, and that's okay too. This does a really good amount of damage, 180 with the double turbo, 210 with double turbo plus a choice belt. So you're even knocking out some V Pokemon, but you're 2-shotting everything else, setting up everything else for knockouts from your other Pokemon. And Arceus V-Star has 280 HP, so it can tank hits from a lot of Pokemon. And let's look at our other attackers. So we've got 2 Galarian Moltres V, 2 Hoopa V, and 1 Galarian Zapdos V. Galarian Moltres V has been a mainstay in Standard ever since it came out. The Dire Flame Wings ability allows it to get a Dark Energy from discard and attach it to the Moltres. And then Auraburn, the ability is Dire Flame Auraburn, for 2 Dark and a colorless does 190, and then it does 30 to itself. So this will be, one-shotting anything that's weak to Dark, namely Mew VMAX at the moment, but 190 with a choice belt's 220, and 220 is also a very good number to hit against Zacian, against Suicune, against opposing Galarian Moltres, against opposing Hoopa V. Then we've got Hoopa V, 220 HP with the ability Two-Faced. As long as this Pokemon is in play, it is Psychic and Dark ability, or a Psychic and Dark type. And that means that you're going to be able to hit Pokemon that are weak for Psychic, for weakness, with the 170 attack, and you put 3 damage on one of your own Pokemon. But that's going to one-shot Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. And these Pokemon are pretty easy to power up. Moltres can be powered up on its own, but we've got this Arceus leading the fight most of the time that can just accelerate energy to your benched V Pokemon, or all of your V Pokemon. And then Galarian Zapdos V, we are playing an Aurora energy and a Fighting energy in the deck, so that we can try to use Thunderous Kick for just one energy, because this Pokemon's attacks cost one colorless less for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. And this hits fighting type weakness. So we have a pretty good coverage, even though we're playing a simple lineup of Pokemon. We can hit dark weakness, psychic weakness, and fighting weakness. And fighting weakness will be good against opposing Arceus decks. So we'll just put that there. It's one of the uh, other attackers. And then for the support Pokemon of the deck, we've just got one Crobat V and one Eldegoss V. This Eldegoss V could either be turned into a Lumineon V or can be accompanied by a Lumineon V. To play an extra Crobat V. These lists aren't final. These are very early lists. They could be close to perfect. They could be horribly wrong. But this is very early in the game. So, you know, we are still over a month away from the set actually coming out in North America at the time of this video. So we don't really know what will be good yet. And that's what's so fun about this early deck building, is trying to figure it all out. For supporters, we've got 4 Professor's Research, which is going to be pretty basic. Discard your hand, draw 7, and then we've got 3 Marnie. Marnie, both players shuffle their hand and put them at the bottom of the deck. You draw 5, your opponent draws 4. We've got 2 Boss's Orders, 1 Raihan, 1 Charon's Care. So, Charon's Care is a new card. You can pick up one of your damaged colorless Pokemon. So that's only going to be usable for Arceus in this deck. It's essentially Acerola from the Sun and Moon era, but only for colorless type Pokemon. For stadiums, I have 2 Training Court and 1 Collapsed Stadium, the new card that when it's in play, each player's bench is reduced to 4. And if you have 5, you have to discard down to 4. So this can be used to kind of nerf Suicune or Entei or Raiku's damage output. It can be used to nerf Mew VMAX Genesect's draw power. Could also be used to discard one of your own damaged Pokemon from the bench. So I think that's a pretty interesting card. Moving on to items, we've got 4 Quick Ball. Pretty self-explanatory. We want to search out basic Pokemon. And I've also got 4 Ultra Ball in this deck as well, since we don't have any level ballable Pokemon. We have a lot of extras that we can toss away throughout the game. Like, we're never going to need 4 RCSVs. We probably won't need 3 RCSV Star. Maybe we don't need Hoopa V in a game. We also want to discard Dark Energy for Galarian Moltres and for Raihan. I feel pretty comfortable with 4 Ultra Ball in this type of deck. Maybe it'll change, but I don't think we're just going to be tossing 4 Ultra Ball into every deck just because Ultra Ball's out again. Now we've got 3 Energy Switch for moving our energy around. I'm not sure if we need this many Energy Switch since this is a pretty straightforward deck. We're only playing 2 types of basic energy, and it's 7 dark and 1 fighting. Maybe in a more toolboxy style Arceus deck where you've got a lot of different energy types going on, more energy switch is good. But this is kind of just like a comfort card. Like, so we can try to hit those energy switches when we want them. But I'm not sure how necessary they are in this variant since it's a little more straightforward. I also haven't made edits to this list just because I wanted to do the deck profile on the exact list that was in the gameplay on the channel a couple of days ago. Then we've got 2 Switch and 1 Escape Rope. We've got 2 Air Balloon. We've got 2 of the new Choice Belt that does 30 more damage to V Pokemon. And we've got 1 Tool Scrapper to remove Big Charms, Capes of Toughness, things like that. For energy, we've got 4 Double Turbo. It supplies 2 colorless energy, but the attacks of the Pokemon it's attached to do 20 damage less to the opponent's Pokemon. Then we've got 7 basic dark, since we are mostly a dark deck. And we've also got 1 Aurora and 1 basic fighting for that Galarian Zapdos. So that is my current draft for an Arceus V-Star Dark variant. It's definitely possible to play the Baby Galarian Moltres, the baby Hoopa, splash some other types into the deck. There's a lot you can do with it, and I'm glad that we're going into hopefully a stage of deck creativity and deck diversity where deck lists aren't all the same because there's multiple ways to build them depending on what you want to be better against or how you want to play out your strategy. So I think Arceus V Star definitely lends itself to that, and also just the existence of strong V Stars in general, because if the main Pokemon of decks start to be two prize Pokemon, then games are going to go on longer, and there will be more options and more reason to have more options instead of just having your strongest Pokemon all the time. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Arceus V Star slash Dark deck profile. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and check out the gameplay if you have not already. I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.